Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you need to develop into a better leader, this podcast is for you. If you want to achieve a greater level of success, this podcast is for you. His mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said it best: everything rises and falls on leadership. We hope to inspire you today and provide you with an insight that has the potential to positively impact the trajectory of your life. Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast.
Imagine gaining the leadership skills that could redefine your career. Join Coach BZ on the Leadership and Success Podcast, where each episode delivers practical insights from world-class speakers, military leaders, and industry experts. We dive deep into what matters most: building resilient teams, leading through uncertainty, and navigating complexity with clarity and confidence. Every conversation is crafted for aspiring leaders like you who are ready to grow, lead, and make a lasting impact. Don't miss our powerful live sessions and recent highlights. Michelle Hayward on building diverse, high-performing technical teams. Ann Leslie on leading through global complexity and cybersecurity risk. Ron Carpenter AI exploring faith, resilience, and AI-powered leadership. Colonel Michelle G.I. Gardner-Ince on commanding influence from the battlefield to the boardroom. Chris Robinson on shifting from drift to drive in life and leadership. And Coach Enrique Acosta Gonzalez on mentorship, legacy, and heart-centered leadership. Ready to level up your leadership journey? Tune in on Spotify, Apple, Audible Podcasts, YouTube Live, and LinkedIn Live. Join the movement toward leadership excellence. Listen now and start transforming your success.
The competition. Forget about all of the certification or even formal education. If you know how to do the job, that's really the skills we are trying to hire for. That's why for those who are just getting started, I highly recommend they just get any type of entry-level cybersecurity job so that they have experience, right? The best person I've seen do this is when I was a consultant a few years back in Silicon Valley. We hired somebody right out of college. She did like a two-year. She went to a community college, but did a bunch of cert. So she had the certification, she had the education, but not quite the experience. But within a couple of years of the experience she got, she was able to quadruple her salary in Silicon Valley. So I have seen it done. So I think it's very important. I think experience trumps everything else, even if it's unpaid or even as a intern or something. But some type of experience getting into the field, I think, is going to help you long term. And then the second most important thing I discussed in the article is formal education, right? I feel like in 2021, it's very important to have at least a bachelor. And I think for the most part, people in cyber come from the STEMs side of the education world, like science, technology, engineering, math. Although you could do art and business and something completely outside of STEM and still get into cyber. Like even if you are a lawyer, we do need lawyers in cybersecurity and industry as well. But for the most part, I think a great majority, they come out of science and technology. So having at least a bachelor, I believe, is pretty important, especially if you want to become a manager or an executive or really kind of climb.
All right. That was a podcast I recorded, I think, about a couple of years ago. We are going to have a summary of that. I encourage everyone to go ahead and watch the full podcast. That's season 2, episode 8. So to get started, we're going to start with our moment of gratitude. It takes less than a minute. We just think of one thing that we are grateful for today. So if you would, close your eyes, put yourself in your happy place, and think about one thing that you are grateful for today. And today I am grateful for my connection. I am grateful for you watching me, following me, people I know, people I've worked with, people I've worked for, people I love, and people I've got to know in the Navy, Silicon Valley, higher education, everywhere I have been. Because in this life, you really cannot make it on your own. You need to live in relationship with other people. And I am grateful for you today. All right, please type in the comment what you are grateful for. And also let me know where you are coming from. What city, what state, if you are in the US, or if you are outside of the US, what country. Where are you joining us from? And if this podcast is adding any value to you, I also would like you to please tag someone you think might benefit from this, or repost it within your feed. All right, so we are gonna go back now into the 10-minute summary done by my AI agent. Oh, before I do, I want to give you another reminder to please subscribe to the Darren Daily. Go to bit.ly/Darren Daily BZ. And today, for example, we had a 5-minute presentation from Darren about confidence, how to gain more confidence. So all that's going to do is really elevate your day. You're going to hear from my mentor. He's been mentoring me for more than 20 years now, every morning, Monday through Friday. Usually before 5 a.m. Pacific time, you're going to get an email from him, and he's going to give you a great word to get started. Again, bit.ly/Darren Daily BZ, and you can register there. All right, thank you. Now let's have my AI agent take 10 minutes to summarize the podcast I was on with Alpinia back in 2021.
Welcome to the podcast. Today we're diving into leadership insights that cross both military and tech landscapes, focusing on purpose, community, and servant leadership.
Yep,
It's fascinating how these worlds overlap, right?
absolutely. It's like two sides of the same coin. How do you think the military's mission first mentality translates into the tech world?
Well, it's all about having a clear purpose, a North Star, if you will. In the military, that means executing a clear mission even amid chaos. And in cybersecurity, it's safeguarding systems
Yeah,
and
exactly.
people. You see, purpose anchors your decisions even when everything else is shifting.
That makes sense. And speaking of shifting environments, the piece really emphasizes community as a force multiplier. What stands out to you about that concept?
Right, community is essential.
Uh-huh.
In this discussion, community is portrayed like a strategic force multiplier, like when you blend the collective wisdom of a tight-knit unit from the military with the peer learning model in cybersecurity networks like Affinia. It's kind of a way to let trust and shared experience drive decisions.
It's interesting how it's almost like each leader is a part of a single, cohesive body, right? Almost like the biblical reference they mentioned, where one body is made up of many different parts.
Yes, exactly. You know, it's like when you have all these parts syncing together, they foster trust, collaboration, and ultimately, resilience. Think of it
Yeah,
as a highly trained tactical unit, where every specialist's expertise is critical to the mission.
and then there's servant leadership. This concept really challenges traditional leadership models, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's a bit counterintuitive at first. Instead of demanding status or authority, effective leaders in both military and tech environments focus on serving their teams. This strategy nurtures autonomy and empowerment. They're more like mentors than commanders. It's interesting because they emphasize that true authority comes from serving others rather than leading from above.
I'm curious though, does that approach ever risk compromising decisiveness? I mean, can a leader be too service oriented to the point where decision making gets bogged down?
That's a good point. Balancing decisiveness with reflection is also touched on.
Right.
Essentially, while it's crucial to act swiftly when stakes are high, it's equally important to lean on trusted counsel and data. The idea is to combine tactical urgency with thoughtful analysis. It's like needing both the speed of a fighter jet and the deliberation of a seasoned strategist.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So it's not about sacrificing one for the other. It's more of a dynamic balance, right?
Exactly. It's a careful dance between instinct and data-driven analysis. For example, military situations demand rapid decisions, yet wisdom comes from pausing to reflect on what works and what doesn't, just like in cybersecurity, where threats evolve so fast.
That transition to cybersecurity is really compelling, especially with the evolving nature of threats. Adaptive learning really seems to be a key theme here.
Absolutely. Adaptive learning is crucial in both arenas. Leaders must continuously renew their thinking. Yesterday's certainties can vanish in today's cyber threat landscape or battlefield scenario. It's about staying curious and always learning, really positioning yourself as a perpetual student of your own environment. That humility makes all the difference.
It's kind of like never settling for what you knew yesterday because today's environment might render that knowledge obsolete, isn't it?
Exactly. Imagine trying to use old battle tactics in a new type of warfare. It just wouldn't work. And similarly in tech, remaining static can be disastrous when cyber adversaries are continuously adapting. So being
Right.
adaptive not only keeps you current, but also prepares you to confront unexpected challenges.
I like that analogy. Sort of like if you're a chef using outdated recipes, you'll never compete with someone who's constantly experimenting with new flavors, yeah?
Yes, exactly. It's like the chef is constantly tasting and tweaking. And in leadership terms, that tasting is reflected in how you assess both success and failure, figuring out what went right and what needs to change. It's a continuous feedback loop that, over time, builds the resilience necessary to overcome setbacks.
Speaking of resilience, the article really emphasizes that it's about bouncing back with humility, not about being invulnerable, right?
Right on point. Resilience is all about recovering, recalibrating, and moving forward stronger. In both military and tech domains, failure isn't seen as the end. It's considered part of the process. Leaders who embrace this invariably turn challenges into growth opportunities. You could even
Yeah.
say failures become your curriculum.
I really appreciate that perspective, though I must say, some might argue that it's easier said than done. Do you think all leaders are naturally equipped to shift their mindset in that way?
That's a valid critique. Not everyone immediately sees failure as a learning opportunity. It takes intentional reflection and, quite frankly, a supportive culture to transform setbacks into lessons. That's where the idea of community plays a crucial role again, having a network that not only shares successes, but also helps process failures with empathy and constructive insight.
So, community isn't just about operational support, but also as an emotional support network that helps reframe setbacks?
Absolutely. It's like having a tactical debrief after a mission. Everyone gathers, discusses what went right, what went wrong, and then strategizes on how to improve for next time. That's exactly the kind of reflective practice that balances decisive action with thoughtful analysis.
It really sounds like there's a heavy focus on intentional practices in leadership, which ties back to that idea of purpose as the North Star. Can you elaborate on how purpose drives decision making?
Of course, purpose is the guiding light in any decision-making process. Whether you're protecting a network or leading troops, having a clear sense of why you're doing what you're doing creates a foundation that influences every move. It's like your internal compass that helps filter out distractions and align your actions with your core values.
That makes it sound almost spiritual, don't you think? Like a kind of calling or mission beyond just the job itself?
Yes, exactly. And that's reinforced by the scriptural references sprinkled in the piece, like the verses from Psalm and Romans. These comparisons really highlight that leadership isn't just a role, it's a responsibility to inspire, to serve, and to continuously evolve.
Right.
It's a holistic approach that integrates practical strategy with deeper values.
It's fascinating how the article connects these timeless principles with modern challenges. And what about the balance between decisiveness and reflection? How do leaders really manage to do that in high pressure environments?
It's a challenge for sure. Leaders are encouraged to mix tactical urgency, where you have to act swiftly, with reflective pauses that allow you to assess and adjust. Think of it as a dynamic interplay, acting on instinct based on mission critical data, while also stepping back to gather feedback and make necessary course corrections. It's not always a neat balance, but the key is being intentional about integrating both perspectives into your routine.
I can see that in action almost like a pilot juggling between immediate maneuvering and situational awareness on the radar. It's also fluid.
Exactly. It's like an ever adapting flight path. And then there's the aspect of mentorship and coaching. Leaders are really encouraged to mentor and clear obstacles for their teams, to serve rather than to simply command.
Yeah,
It's a shift from directing every move to empowering others to lead alongside you.
that empowerment, though, must require a lot of trust. Do you think there are risks involved if that trust isn't fully established within a team?
Certainly, trust is a fragile but critical component. Without a solid foundation of respect and accountability, empowering others can backfire.
Right.
That's why building community, where there's shared experience and mutual support, is so vital. It's like laying down a safety net, ensuring that when leaders serve their teams, everyone is aligned with the same mission and values.
That makes the argument for community even stronger, doesn't it? The integration of peer learning feeds directly into the empowerment model, creating a self sustaining loop of support, learning, and trust.
Absolutely. And think about the real world implications. In both cybersecurity and military service, every decision can have significant consequences. By fostering a culture of constant learning, reflection, and support, leaders create an environment where mistakes are leveraged to foster growth, not stigma. It's a resilient cycle that ultimately advances overall performance.
I really like the holistic picture here. It's not just about one dimension of leadership, it's about purpose, community, servant leadership, adaptability, and resilience all coming together.
Yes, and that's the beauty of it. These principles are interdependent. You can't have effective adaptive learning without a strong sense of purpose, nor can you truly empower a team without a robust community and a servant leadership
Yeah.
mindset. It's like a well-tuned orchestra, where every instrument plays its part to create harmony, even in the midst of a storm.
That analogy really hits home. And I suppose these ideas extend beyond just the military and tech sectors. They're applicable in any field facing rapid change and uncertainty.
Exactly. The insights here can inspire leadership in any environment. It's all about leading with empathy, courage, and an unwavering commitment to growth for yourself and your team. And at the end of the day, it's that blend of experience, reflection, and community support that truly defines impactful leadership.
This conversation leaves me thinking about my own leadership style. What steps can I take to recenter on my purpose and build a stronger community within my team?
That's a great question. It starts with asking yourself the hard, reflective questions. What's my mission? Who am I serving? And then, look around. Identify those peers or mentors who can serve as your sounding
Right.
board. Incorporate small routines of reflection, perhaps even daily check-ins with your team to gather feedback. Over time, these simple acts can shift your entire leadership dynamic.
I love that. It seems like a call to action for leaders everywhere to be more intentional, adaptive, and ultimately more human in their leadership.
Absolutely. And that, in a nutshell, is what these insights are all about. Whether you're navigating the complexities of a digital threat or the uncertainties of the battlefield, it all circles back to purpose, community, service, and resilience.
Yeah,
Thank you for exploring these ideas with me today.
thank you. It's been an enlightening journey. I'm definitely taking away a lot of practical advice to inspire my leadership path moving forward.
All right, thanks so much for watching the summary today. And again, please watch the full episode, season 2, episode 8. I'm going to play a couple of more teaser from the podcast for you in a moment. First, I wanted to check to see if there are any questions on LinkedIn or YouTube. I don't see any. All right. So please also type in your aha moment, what you've learned, what are 1 to 3 takeaways that you get from this short podcast. And again, if you have a question, even after the show, go and type it in the comment. I'm going to make sure to get to it tomorrow. And I will be back here tomorrow around 6:30 a.m. California time, 9:30 a.m. East Coast time. And I'm going to be talking about the dream. So resilient leadership, the dream, and the core serve. I'm going to be reflecting on I Have a Dream speech. We've done a lot of progress for racial relation and justice for all and all of that, but we are definitely not where we need to be. There's still a lot of work to be done, and I believe that you and I, we have a responsibility and an opportunity to make America what Abraham Lincoln said, right? A nation of the people, for the people, and by the people, all people, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or national origin. And that's the America I want to live in, I believe for. And that's part of the reason why I joined the US Navy 20 years ago, where I am willing to fight and even give my life for this idea that is America. I think it's definitely worth fighting for. All right. Until tomorrow, this is Coach Busy, and thank you so much for being with me today. See you tomorrow.
Kind of again switching gears, you mentioned you've been with kind of Athenia for a while, and our intent is really is to provide a free and kind of safe, so meaning gated environment for cybersecurity executives to connect, to network, to learn together, and to keep respective organizations secure, but doing so not in an intrusive way, not bombarding members with emails. So it's kind of like, think of it as an ambient network that's there when you need it, but it's not in your face when you don't. So this was kind of our original intent. And I know in certain ways we've succeeded because certain things seems to be working and members appreciated, like the weekly CISO Wire update, these interviews. It seems like we're getting a lot of positive response. But always, to your point, we'll always try to learn and to ask for feedback. And kind of with this in mind, what in your view, what do you think is that what we do that you value, that we should do more of maybe? And what are some of the things that we're not yet doing that we should maybe can focus on to make it more effective, more valuable for members?
No, I think it's really a great organization. I really like that a lot, the CISO Wire update. Now, looks like recently you've added the interviews like this one, always very, very nice. So we can meet all of the other members, kind of get their point of view, right? This is something I really value since I was at the University of Alabama. As you know, higher education, they really like to collaborate, right? So back then, I remember I was a member of EDUCOS and also the SAMS EDU advisory board, and we would meet with people in the region, all of the other school, kind of see what they're doing, what we're doing, and kind of learn from one another. I think that's really the best way to learn, looking at your peers and trying to really keep up with the time, see what works, what doesn't work, and improve.
I think first or second week of June. So for you, is it going to be RSA? Is it going to be Gartner? Maybe neither. Like where do you stand on that?
It's always been RSA. Although, to be frank with you, if I can speak freely, it's not the conference it used to be. Lately, I've seen too much sales, vendors selling stuff and not really teaching and learning. That's kind of a shame because I actually used to work for a company called Pivotal, which was a sister company to RSA. Both at the time we are owned by EMC, which later was acquired by Dell. So I'm pretty sure RSA is a Dell company now. I love RSA to death. They have a lot of great product and services. And for the longest, their conference was one of the very best conference in the industry. But I think a lot of things have changed for a while now. That's actually where I met one of my most impactful cybersecurity mentor. I was in 2019. I met her by accident. She almost offered me a job, but we talk now like every single quarter. So I have a lot of good things happening at RSA. You can definitely network with some of the best mind in the industry and so forth. But it's just becoming too much salesy lately, I think. I really would prefer if they went back to really teaching, educating, and kind of showing what is out there without so much pressure on sales.
Well, it's probably because all those venture funded companies raise so much money that they need to show some results to their boards. So they're and they, to your point, instead of hiring too many salespeople, they should push some of them into cybersecurity careers where there's a shortage. I think they'll be.
I think so.
They'll spend their time better there. Well, Bob, I know we're coming up on time. Thank you so much for being so generous with your time. I really enjoyed the interview, and we're still kind of on the fence whether it's RSA or Gartner. Most likely, it's going to be RSA. So if you do end up going, we'd love to meet face to face.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks so much, Misha. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our channels and come back for more wisdom nuggets on how you may develop into a better leader and achieve greater levels of